Okay, we should be live now. I'm so excited, but I'm so nervous.
I'm like so scared that I'm gonna like just be not paying attention and during like the non-spoiler part, like say a spoiler by accident or something.
Mm-hmm. I know. I'm like, I have like notes in front of me and everything because I was like, I can't mess this up.
I feel like sometimes what I think like isn't a spoiler, some people might think is kind of spoiler. Like, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's like hard to like tell how much. Yeah.
Here, I'm gonna post this on Twitter. Oh no. I could hear myself in the like YouTube feedback from the stream, and I was like, no, let's not do this. Okay. I think we'll get started at like 12:05.
Okay.
Sounds good.
I love that on YouTube it says started streaming like 94 seconds ago. Okay, my computer's like freaking out. I need to do one thing at a time. I hate this. I hate this so much. I don't know why. I'm not an awkward person, but right now I'm feeling like so just antsy.
I feel
like, I hate it.
Yeah, I remember when you came on for my birthday sprints, and I was just like the most awkward. I was like, how do I start this? I don't even know. I just like forgot how to do everything, and then was like, oh right.
I'm like, I'm literally terrified to do like sprints on my own. I feel like I'll be so like I don't think I'm an awkward person like in real life, but like I feel like just like sitting on like the camera by myself, I'm gonna be so awkward. I'm terrified of it.
Yeah. I could never do them by myself, I don't think. Also, I just think I would feel like no one would watch. So then the breaks are just they're like, okay.
Well, I tweeted like a couple weeks ago saying that I kind of wanted to do some, and like so many people replied, and they're like, "Yeah, like you should do it. Like I'll come." But I'm like, but you say that now, but then like in the moment, because I know me, like sometimes I'm like, oh, I'll go to this person's sprint, and then you see it, and you're like, oh, like I'm kind of busy, or I'm kind of like I'm not in the mood to read right now, like
yeah.
So I don't know. I've done them with I've done them with people before, and they're fun with people.
Yeah. I know. I'm like, I literally sat there and I was like, okay, I'm hosting a readathon. What if I don't get any co-hosts and am I just gonna go live and like talk for like an hour? Like what? So like I have co-hosts lined up for the next few months, but the readathon runs all the way to August. And I don't have anybody for like the latter months. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, maybe in the next couple of months it picks up a little bit more traction. If not, I'm just gonna come on here and pretend I'm like an English teacher and go through the whole thing.
I'm sure you'll find people. I feel like people always want to participate and stuff, even if you reach out to them like the month of to be like, hey, do you want to add this book to TBR for the month?
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna do this. How's that look? Ready? And boom.
Oh,
all right. I guess we can just kind of get started. So I'm sure this will be watched later by people who cannot join us today. So if you'd like to introduce yourselves really quickly, and give like one fun fact about you.
Oh no. Hello, I'm Samantha from the channel Samantha's Books. And a fun fact about me, I don't know. I mean, the one I always use in like class and stuff is I say that I'm from the Caribbean, so I grew up there. That's something interesting. But I live in the UK now. But yeah.
That's so cool. That's more interesting than what my fun fact will be. Hi, I'm Emma. My channel is Emma is Reading. And a fun fact about me is I have 2 dogs.
What are their names?
I have a Yorkshire Terrier. His name is Cedric. And I have a Labradoodle, and his name is Ozzy.
I love that.
Cedric is like a grumpy old man. His name is very fitting. He's like 11. I think he's turning 12 actually. Yeah, he's turning 12. He's very old and grumpy. And then Ozzy, he's only like 2 years old. So he's really cute, really cuddly. Yeah. But I love them.
I love that. Well, obviously, if you're watching this, you're on my channel. So hi, my name is Melanie. I go by Mel at the Bookish Mel. And a fun fact about me is this was kind of an exciting fun fact. I bought my first car in 2020. So big adult moves. And It was like my dream car, and I got the lease for really cheap. And so I'm really proud.
Oh, that's so exciting.
Yeah. Okay, so we're here to talk about Cinderella is Dead by Kailyn Barron. This is a book that released in July of 2020. It was one of my anticipated releases, and I kind of tabbed it up. I don't know if it's going to pick up. Hold on. There it is.
Oh, yeah.
All right, kind of tabbed it up. And I have like I feel like a simple rating system or tabbing system. And so like looking at my tabs, I can tell that this was like a fairly average read for me. So with that being said, ratings. What did you guys end up rating Cinderella is Dead?
I haven't actually like officially given it a rating yet on Goodreads, but I think I'm gonna give it like a 3.5 out of 5 stars.
Yeah, I was like really like I said, I just finished it like an hour ago, so I was like still not 100% sure how I want to rate it, but I'm thinking like a 4 stars because I did think it was really fun, and it was really like quick and easy to get through. So I think I'll say 4 stars for me.
I started doing the Cawpile ratings for 2021 for like the big physical books that I read. And so for this one, it had like a rating of like a 3.2, something like that. So it was in the low 3s, where it like all added up to like a 6.7. I don't know what the number was, but I gave this a low 3-star, and like rightfully so. I think I don't know. I was kind of disappointed, but like not. I don't know. It was I'm like still so conflicted on how I'm feeling because like I agree like it was super super easy to fly through. But like to actually like be like that was the book. Like
yeah. I agree. I think for me the reason why I would go with because I was debating between like 3.5 and 4 and then I ended up going with 4 because like I feel like the writing and stuff like that wasn't amazing for me, but the general plot itself, I just thought the plot was so cool. Like I don't know about you guys, but I've never read a book like that before, like with that kind of concept. So I just thought the plot was and like the whole world was so cool, and I really loved reading about that. Especially the first, I don't know about you guys, but for me the first like half of the book was better than the second half of the book.
Yeah.
So
I feel like the second half just got like so intense. And like it was like plot twist after plot twist after plot twist, and I was like, can we just like bring it down a notch, please?
Yeah, I feel like the last like 20% was so rushed as well. Like the resolution was so rushed that I was like, wait, what just happened?
Yeah. And can we talk about the fact that you don't find out her last name until the last chapter?
Yeah.
Or did I like miss it somewhere?
No, I think that's when I found out.
Right?
The
Yeah, I
last
think it's
chapter,
just
yeah.
the end.
It's
And
like,
it's like
what
not
is it?
even
It's like, what was her last name? Hold on. It like made me laugh so hard. Grimmins,
yeah.
because it's a
Yeah.
Grimm fairy tale. I was like,
Yeah,
wow,
yeah.
we're so creative. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Favorite things. I don't know. I'm like conflicted. Okay, so I obviously really love Cinderella's story, like the Disney animated Cinderella story.
Mhm.
But I read, okay, so obviously with this with this readathon, I read the original Grimm's fairy tale or origin story or whatever, and then I read the novel. So for this, I decided I would do like a slight like experiment for myself, if you will. And I read half of the book without reading the original tale and then finished the original tale and then continued the rest of the book. And I think like the odes to the original Cinderella story was my favorite. Like it I like the fact that it follows it, but it is set so further away from the original story. But like to see how Cinderella is still such a pivotal aspect of the story, regardless of the fact that she's dead. Um, and I'm a sucker for like when the title is somewhere in the novel. So like that happens in like the like last like third, I think, of the book.
Yeah.
But it's like Cinderella is dead, but like blah 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 blah. And I was like, it did it! It did it! Like I love that.
I don't know what my favorite aspect was. I don't want to say the same as you, Mel, but I feel like there's the nods to the original. Like, but I like how it took the original and then really built on it. Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like for me, I feel like the world itself was really interesting, especially the first like 50 to 100 pages. I was like so intrigued by this world and just like the little, like the way that they like worshipped Cinderella, like talking about how like in the streets, like in the stores, they had like replicas of like her like her glass slippers and stuff for people to buy. Like I just thought that was like so fun and really interesting. Yeah.
All right. Here's the real docket. Least favorite. I have to say, I didn't love the writing, and I didn't love the like here's like Tumblr branded feminism in a novel. It was very like, I see what you're trying to do and I appreciate it, and I think like middle school me would be obsessed with this. It's like the get out of my face, like I don't want to talk to you, like men suck, right? And like me reading this now, it felt very like juvenile. So I think kind of getting into it, that was something that like I don't know, like I don't know if I wasn't anticipating it being as YA was, considering the fact that it's so dark.
Yeah.
Like that's a good point. That's like making me second guess my reading. That's a good point. It was, yeah, that's true. I feel like one of the biggest things that I didn't like was how they portrayed Erin's character. Like,
oh my god,
it made her seem like the worst person in the world because she didn't want to die because she was scared. Like apparently that makes you awful. And like even with like her parents and stuff, like I get that she wanted them to like support her and stuff like that, but I'm like, it's clear that they love you. They don't want you to die. Like, and I felt like it was the way that no one acknowledged that. I'm like, why are we making them seem like the worst people in the world because they don't want you to die? Like, I didn't really like that.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of the characters, just in general. Which is I think is why like I don't feel like particularly like I didn't dislike the book, obviously. I gave it 3.5 stars, but it's like definitely not like a new favorite or anything because I really like characters. Like that's the main thing for me. Like the plot was good, but yeah, because the characters were not my fave. Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah, I'm like the same. I'm the same. I love like characters. That's my favorite part of a story. Like I could read a story where nothing happens in the plot, but if there's like good characters, then I'll love it. but I feel like these characters were very like, there was just not much to them. They were just very like,
they were like really
Yeah.
one-dimensional.
yeah, one-dimensional. Yeah.
Any final non-spoilery thoughts before we jump into the full novel itself? Like, I don't know. Overall thoughts? I think, like, so in the original Cinderella story, there are 3 dresses that Cinderella ends up asking for. One for, what is it? One that reflects moonlight, one that reflects starlight, and one that reflects sunlight. So that was really well integrated in the story. But I almost wished it like stayed a little bit closer to the origin story, like in terms of Cinderella's beginnings, because we see obviously the descendants, but we don't see prior to that. Well, I mean, we do, but not like as much as I think I would have liked to. So I think because it was so far away, I was intrigued by that concept, but I almost would have liked it if there was like maybe like a backstory or like a whatever. But I don't know. I think that's my only like real thought there. There's not much else going on in my brain without going into spoilers.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I feel like everything else that I like want to say is spoilers.
Mhm.
All right.
I think maybe this book could have benefited from being 2 books, actually. I feel like the stuff that happened in the first half definitely could have been like developed more and been its own separate book, and then the ending should have been a different book, potentially. And then maybe I would have enjoyed it more. I don't know.
See, I don't
Yeah.
know if I can agree with that. Like, I think I like the fact that it kind of just wraps up in the one book.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I do see like how you could split it apart into 2 books for sure, because it's like here's the retelling and then here's my version of the ending.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't know if I would be able to handle 2 books of this.
Yeah,
I don't
I like
know.
that it was 1 book, and I don't know if I
Yeah.
would like, pick up the sequel necessarily, but I think that like maybe, or I don't know, just I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if I would say 2 books, but I definitely think the last half of the book was so rushed. Like there should have been something, like either it was a bit longer or like or I don't know, like it was too much at the ending for me.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all ready for this? All right, so first section, character dive. I want to talk about all these characters because they are something. So starting with Miss Sophia herself, what do we think of our main protagonist? I see so many thoughts on your face, Samantha.
No, literally my head is empty. I'm like, how do I feel?
Yeah. I feel like that's how I feel about these characters. I'm like, how do I feel? Like I don't know. Like I don't.
I feel like she was like really headstrong, and I kind of like that. But like, do we know how old she is? I think she was like 16 or something, right?
Yeah, I think so.
16, yeah.
Yeah, and so to see like her and her relationship with like everybody in the novel, but especially with her parents, I think was really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think seeing how like she sat there and she went back to her parents and they were like, we just want you to be safe, like, and if safe isn't here, then that's fine, just like go. But like I don't know, it was a really interesting dynamic because I was not expecting like a positive family relationship. I was expecting it to be like super by the rules. So to see like how she was raised by these people who still like at the end of the day like loved her so much was really cool.
Yeah, I agree. She was like very headstrong. I was not a fan of how she she blamed Aaron and stuff for not wanting to escape with her, and how she couldn't see how maybe like Aaron just wanted to stay and like not die and stuff. Like that really bothered me. I also like wish that we would have seen, like, I don't know what you guys, but to me it seemed like you don't really see any moments of her like being scared or like questioning anything, she's just like, yeah, like I'm gonna kill him. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, really? Like you don't even have like a second to be like, oh god, like this is terrifying. Like maybe I'll die. Like you know what I mean? So I wish we kind of saw more depth there. Yeah.
I feel like she was quite like grown up for a 16-year-old. Yeah. And obviously she had a mission and she was like, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
I think like if I don't know, the way she, I think, carried herself, if it was done with a little bit more maturity, as opposed to like, I feel like she reacted really quickly to everything that happened. And maybe that was just like the nature of like her age, the nature of like the way she grew up in this town and like with all of these rules. But it was still so like, dude, just like breathe for a second. Like just calm down. Or like the way she like I agree, like the way that she interacted with Aaron like killed me, but I also hated Aaron as a character. Like Aaron has easily made it, and since we're talking about her, one of my like least favorite characters of all time. And
really?
Like I don't know, I think I kind of just sat there and I was like, dude, like both of you need to come at each other with more sympathy. And it feels like such a, this should be a women empowering women type novel, but like their relationship was so not it.
Oh no.
And so that's what bothered me. I think it was just like she like left Aaron and then like ran off and was like, oh, I found this new person that's like, oh, like I don't know. It like that irked me, and like her friendship / relationship with Aaron, like just every time her name was on the page, I was like, I don't want this interaction.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't like their relationship with each other. I don't know if I like hated Aaron. I mean, I definitely think she like said some things that didn't need to be said, and like she could have had more sympathy. But I agree. Like I think on both sides there could have been more understanding and more sympathy. But I feel like I feel more for Aaron because I'm like, girl, like she's just trying to live. Like she's just trying not to die, not to get killed. Like I don't know. I didn't hate her, but I can see like why she was kind of annoying.
Yeah, I didn't hate her, but I was just kind of like, yeah, she was pretty annoying. So yeah, I don't know.
Who else was there? Let me think. Constance. Oh my gosh, how do I forget about she kind of came out of left field.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Oh, see, we have another didn't like Aaron as well. Thank you. I don't know. She was I want to just put her in the back of my mind as far away as possible, because like realistically speaking, she didn't make anything to the plot.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like she was unnecessary. Yeah, I feel like she still could have met like Constance and everything without Aaron ever having to have been a part of it.
Yeah,
and I feel like once she left the town, like she could have just forgotten about Aaron. I mean, that would have been a bit harsh, but you know, the fact that she like went all the way back and then Aaron was just oh no, and it's like, but so why did you go back? Like it just
yeah.
It like that entire scene like broke my heart.
Yeah,
I was like, she literally just did that to herself.
I know. There was like no need. And also like I get that they wanted to like have stuff happen to like her friends and people close to her to like even like further like motivate her. But she had like her one friend, what was her name? Leah? I think it was Leah, right?
Liv.
Oh, Liv. Her one friend like died or whatever. So they didn't need things happening to both of them. Like she could have already had enough motivation from Liv.
Yeah. Definitely. I don't know. There were some questionable choices for those two friends. I kind of like lumped them together in my notes because like they felt like they served the same purpose. And even that was like useless.
Yeah. And I felt it was weird how like when she went back to go see Aaron, she first went to Liv's parents' house. I was like, what's that all about?
Oh yeah, I thought that was so weird because maybe I'm remembering wrong, but I swear there was no mention of Liv's parents beforehand. So I'm like, I was like, wait, are they not going to turn you in? Like, what is this relationship here? Because we had never seen that relationship before, and then all of a sudden at the end, apparently she's like super close with them and like they love her.
Yeah.
Weird.
they're like, oh my god, come here, how did you, and I was like, huh? That's like something that like I feel like in the beginning, because the beginning felt like really rushed to me, like that's, you know, like I think the beginning did develop well, but in terms of the other characters, like we saw more development in the second half of the story than we did with the first half, and I think that's why that like confusion happens, because then it's like, okay, what are we supposed to be paying attention to here? And that's like definitely one of my biggest like but like, okay, so like, seriously, Constance, like I was so confused as to how she came into the picture, and she came in so conveniently, and I think that's what pissed me off the most. I was like, you didn't even come in like an interesting way, and like you're supposed to be the whole person who saves this, and like not to like, okay, be ranty, but there was a moment at the very beginning of the book, literally page 25, I have it written down, okay? Page 25, she's like, I don't want to be saved, I want to be the one that does the saving. And then what happens? She gets saved. Like I was like, it did like a full 180 in terms of like what she was trying to do.
I remember reading that line too, thinking like, oh damn, and then she literally got saved. Like you didn't really see her, it being the other way around.
And she really tells Constance, you saved me. I was like, no.
I was really bored of Constance. Like I thought her character was really boring. I thought their romance was like boring. It was just like we held hands, we kissed. Was not a big fan.
And actually, like I've just kind of remembered the fact that she like they met and she was just like chilling out by Cinderella's grave, and I'm like, that's a bit weird. She was just like,
why was she there again? I don't even remember why she was there at the beginning.
I feel like there wasn't a reason given.
I think she just kind of stumbled there. No,
I don't know.
How do you just stumble into? No,
well, she was running away.
No, I mean
Constance.
Oh,
why was
that I don't know. I have no idea. I wish I could tell you. Preet, what did you end up rating the book? I'm curious to see what her thoughts were as well. But then, okay, let's talk about the real villain of this story. Okay, who do you think I'm gonna say? There are two options.
I don't know where you're gonna go with.
I think Manfred really was, you know, Manfred Charming, that he really was the like villain of this story, but at the same time, like Amina, fairy godmother, fairy not so godmother. Right?
Also, like I was so okay, did you guys see that coming? Like did you feel off about her?
I felt like either
pretty obvious.
I thought she or Constance was like gonna like there was gonna be a twist with one of them, because I was like, everything is just happening too conveniently, something's gotta go wrong.
I like felt so off about Amina. Like I thought like it was like, okay, also because there was like mentions of it, like Sophia even started like saying like in her narrative, she was like, oh, I got the feeling that there was something she wasn't telling us, like so I thought it was pretty obvious that she was going to turn, but I didn't like catch the mother thing. I didn't see that coming.
Not at all. Literally came from left field. I think with like how aggressive Manfred is, that's the thing that like kind of never, I guess, like triggered the fact that this could be his mother, because he's like such a jerk to her. Like when he came by, right, and they were hiding, and she was like, you fool, you should have just like waited, and I don't know why you came, blah blah blah. Like I would have never have guessed that like that's his mother. I was just like, oh, you know, it's his closest advisor, someone that like he used quite a bit. So I don't know, it just kind of really threw me off. And like I thought it was kind of unnecessary, considering the fact that it was what, like the last 20 pages of the book. Like I didn't understand it. And like the magic in the last like 50 pages was just next level like confusing.
I'm like very confused. I was gonna say I'm still confused about Amina, because I still can't tell, because wasn't there was a part where he was like, oh, it seems like she was playing both sides.
Mhm.
No, but I didn't even understand what happened in the end. I was
So I
confused by
think what that meant was, so he wanted Cinderella, or Amina wanted Cinderella to, like, still kill him and still suffer for all of that, but he also wanted to appease her son, which is why she fell in love with him in the first place. So I think that's what he meant by like playing both sides. It's like he wanted, or she wanted me to die, but also she wanted me to experience, I guess, love in this whatever way.
Okay, see, 'cause I read that and I was like, wait, so was Amina good or was she not good? Like, I was so confused.
I think she was a just gray character.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Like, I don't think we were supposed to like her.
No,
But
I don't think so. But that sentence like threw me off. And then
yeah.
but yeah, I agree. I feel like the last the magic and like the last 50 pages was so confusing. I was like,
Yeah.
wait, what is happening right now? And I feel like we were like introduced to like magical elements that we were never introduced to in the rest of the story.
Yeah.
Which, and it also like was not explained very well what was happening.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Yeah, because literally he sat there and was like, or Constance sat there and was like, oh, I found her grimoire and it was open to this page. And like he ends up being this like soul sucking, like it was just like so weird. It's like, oh yeah, the ball is like my place for the reaping. When I read those words, I'm not even kidding you. I sat there and I like put the book down and I was like, you're joking. Like this is his, like, he's a Dementor. Like I don't get it. I didn't get it. I was like, why is this the way we're doing this? Like, I don't know. I guess like for me, like I didn't want Charming to be the villain. I can see why, like, the author wrote it in the way to make him the villain, considering like the tones of feminism behind all of it. But like, it just left like such a sour taste in my mouth. I was like, it's so cheap. Like, you didn't develop this enough for me to like believe it. You just told me he was a bad guy.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And it turns out it's the same bad guy for the last 4 years.
Yeah,
Or 4 generations of kings.
That was also so weird as well, that whole aspect of it. Like he's just like, it's been him this whole time.
Yeah. And I found it really weird how, like, at the very end, when he was literally, like, falling apart and, like, decaying, he was still strong enough to, like, hold on to Sophia. And, like, I don't know, I just thought that was weird. I was like, but how does he have the strength to do that? Why don't you just, like, push him over? Like, he's falling apart.
Yeah.
I feel like, yeah, like, the limitations of the magic weren't explained well. Like, and I think if I wasn't doing, like, such a deep dive on, like, my thoughts and, like, whatever, this would have been, like, yeah, like, fun. But there were so many questions that, like, remained unanswered, and not in, like, a it needs a book 2, but in just, like, there's, like, 400 pages of this book.
Yeah.
Within 400 pages, you should be able to establish that better.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. Even, like, the last, like, the part when it was talking about how, I think it was Amina and Prince Charming, or the king, how they're, like, were tethered together and stuff. Like, even that was so random. I'm like, since when is this a part of this world? Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, I was so confused.
Yeah.
And then same with like the very ending, like when she comes out and she just like tells the crowd, like, oh yeah, like we're in charge now.
I know. It was like, this is Cinderella's last descendant. It's like, okay, and we're supposed to just believe her. And like, the fact that there are so many toxic people in this world, like, there's no way they're just gonna accept this new, like, woman as their ruler.
Yeah.
And like,
not just a woman, but realistically like a 16-year-old girl.
Exactly.
Like, you're telling me they're just gonna like let you stand there and tell them that you're in charge now, and they're just gonna like be okay with it, and then the people who aren't okay with it are just gonna walk away?
Yeah.
What? No. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was so. I was like, this is so unrealistic.
I hated the fact that like we were just told, oh yeah, so like Cinderella's like other family and the other descendants and stuff like that, they ran away, they're surviving somewhere. I don't know where, but they're around, I'm sure. It was like that's all you're gonna tell me? Like, the whole point is, like, you are Cinderella's descendant. You're supposed to be finding these things. Like, find them. And the necromancy? Why do we have to bother Cinderella?
Like, what was the point of that?
It was, yeah, literally, what was the point of that? And then she was awake for like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Like,
And at first, she didn't even say anything useful at all.
I literally sat there and my heart hurt. I was like, leave my princess alone. She's been through enough.
I know. What did you guys think about the whole like the stepsister thing, like the Gabriella thing, and like the stepmom being like they were all good? Like, what did you guys think of that part?
I thought it was a really interesting twist. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
And to kind of like, there wasn't much in terms of comparing it to the original story, like the Grimm's fairy tale story of it, but it was really cool to see how the narrative has been changed for so long in this world, and how easily that like perpetuated itself throughout generations just because like the government told them so.
Yeah.
But I really did like the fact that the stepmom was good in this aspect, because I think we needed that.
Yeah.
Like, there's just so much toxicity in all of it. So to find just that like glimpse of good was so refreshing.
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was like really interesting. I liked because did you read Cinder as well this month? No?
I'm still in the middle of it.
Okay, well, this isn't really a spoiler. You find this out in like the first chapter, but like in like Cinder is obviously a Cinderella retelling, and one of her stepsisters in that is like good as well, and they have like a good relationship. So like when I read Cinder, I really liked that as well, just because I feel like in every retelling, that's like something that always stays the same. It's like the evil stepsisters and like the evil stepmom. So I liked how that was like switched up.
No, I agree. I love that. I was trying to think. There was something that I wanted to mention. I have so many things written down. Literally, okay, please. Just this one. This is just one page, which is good. Is good. Normally, like the notes in my other notebook can get to like 2 or 3, so that just tells you that like there wasn't much to talk about. But there was something. Oh, what was it? Oh, this quote. Okay. It was, so the fact that, okay, so the writing of this book, obviously we talked about the fact that it's like really kind of juvenile and like easy to consume, which is kind of nice. But there was one line on page 182. She says, "Take the risk, light the fuse, onward." And I don't know why this stuck out to me like so hard, but like if I were to pick like any quote out of this book, like this would be it. It's quite literally the only, well, no, there's another one, but that's like a like funny reference that I thought of. But literally down in the middle of everything. Where is it? There, right here, yeah. Just it's not even like anything special. You wouldn't have even picked it out. But for some reason, I was like, this line, best piece of writing in the entire book. Like, I don't know why that was something I was like, yes, this is it. This is like their characters in a nutshell. And like the fact that this was like literally light the fuse. She built a bomb. And multiple bombs, mind you. It was just like, where's the blowing stuff up? I was like,
oh yeah. Even like the whole lighting the bomb thing was so out of nowhere, and then it, like within like one page they had built a bomb.
She's like, my mom taught me how to make bread. I was like,
oh yeah. Oh God.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, man.
I feel like writing that is really like juvenile is sometimes nice because it can be easy to consume, but it doesn't always mean it's a good thing, because it usually means that there's not a bunch of detail in it, and it's very like you know, it's not really doing show don't tell very well. It's like just telling you like word for word what is going on. That's like, especially going back to like the romance, that's like one thing I really noticed for the romance. Like I didn't feel romantic to me at all. Like what did you guys think about the romance?
No.
Yeah. It's like, oh, okay.
I was like, yeah, like literally, okay, this is happening. She sat there and she was like, oh, I didn't let the comment about her telling me I was beautiful slip by. And I was like, okay,
Yeah.
if that's gonna do it for you, I mean, by all means, go for it. But it was like I'm kind of glad that there were no like massive like, oh my god, I love you and blah blah blah. Like there was no like announcement of that, so that was kind of nice. And I like the fact that the end of the story wasn't like her professing her love, or like it wasn't wrapped up with their love story. It was wrapped up with like a more political ending. So I kind of like that. But in terms of their romance, like overall, I didn't really see the point of it. I almost wish it didn't happen because like people sat there and was like, "Oh, it's kind of sapphic," and I was like, "Yeah, for like 2 lines."
Yeah, there was like I feel like there was like if you're like I totally agree. Like I like that romance wasn't like the main focus and that it wasn't like too overbearing, especially for like a YA book. But I feel like if you're gonna have it, you should at least do it well. Like there was not much to it. It felt very like, oh, I see you. You're a girl. I like girls. I like you. You didn't really see like them like her like starting to like fall for her for like any specific reason. It was just because she was a girl. Like I don't know.
Yeah, she was just kind of like, oh, she's hot, and we're together right now, so this is convenient.
And now we're kissing. Like,
I feel like part of it does have to do with the fact that like, you know, any sort of non-normative romance is hidden in the world, so like that definitely does play a part. But like I agree, like it upset me to see that it was just so like it was convenience.
Yeah,
and
it just wasn't like developed. And it was,
and like okay, I love convenience romances like in general, like you know what I mean, like where it's I'm trying to think of like a book or like anything that's coming to mind, but it's just like it happens because it's there. Right. And like when they're well developed, they're good. But there was so much potential. And like that's the saddest part to me. And I don't know if this is her, actually it might be her debut. Let's check.
I don't think it is. I was looking to see if she has other books.
Oh, there is a sequel to this.
Oh. Is there?
This Poison Heart.
Oh, I don't think it's a sequel. Is it?
It's probably a companion novel.
It's
no.
Character.
No, it's completely different.
Okay.
But that's a this is okay, hold on. It's its own series. And it looks like it's like a retelling, but like an urban fantasy.
Okay. Yeah, I was reading the synopsis the other day. It's like plant magic.
No.
She like goes
See,
and, like,
I thought it was
plants and stuff.
I thought it was a sequel because the covers look kind of similar. It's the same style.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. See, I like her books. Like I feel like her covers look so good, and the plots itself. Like when you just read the synopsis, sounds so good. Like I feel like she does come up with very original plots. So I like this book, The Poison Heart, because I was looking at it like the other day, and I thought the synopsis sounds so interesting. But now because of like reading Cinderella, that like I don't know about the execution of it.
Yeah.
But I think this was her first like YA novel. Looking at her other ones, I don't know.
I think so too.
So I don't know.
I was big sad. This was a book that I bought like so pumped and so ready and so excited, and like the fact that Bridget Kemmerer like dubbed this on the back. She said Kailyn Barron does more than rewrite a fairy tale. She breaks it apart and rebuilds it into a wholly original and captivating story where girls finally decide for themselves who lives happily ever after. And like I agree, but at the same time, it's like it could have been just like so much better.
Yeah, and also like this whole aspect of like all of the men are awful. Like we don't even have like one good, or I guess they have like
Luke.
Yeah. I was gonna say,
gosh, I totally forgot about him.
Yeah.
But we also like barely got any of him. Like we got him for a couple chapters, and then he was just gone, and then he's rescued in the end. But like we don't really see any more of him.
Yeah, we see him like dying, and then he's set free, and then we never see him again.
Yeah. Like, okay, I literally sat there and it was what? the first like 50 to 100 pages where I sat there and I was like, okay, so here's what's going to happen. They're going to pick each other at the ball and they're going to live a magical hidden life. Right? And I was like, okay, and that's going to be the plot. And I was like, thank God that it wasn't. But like that was such a predictable aspect of it. Yeah. And then to have like Morris and Edward like come in and be like these like super, you know, like machismo, like just douchey dudes. I like literally was so confused as to like the whole purpose of creating these like 16-year-old, I don't know, like little dickheads. Yeah. To put it lightly.
And like I really liked Lucas. Like Lucas that was his name, right? Lucas? Or is it Luke? Was it Luke?
Yeah.
I'm looking at my notes to double check.
I don't know.
I think it was Luke. I don't think it was Lucas.
It is Luke. It's Luke.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah.
No,
I liked Luke. Oh my god, not Lucas. I liked Luke's character. He was probably like the only character that I like actually like really liked. So I'm disappointed that we didn't see more of them. Like even if they wanted to do that whole like, oh, they can't do the marriage of like, you know, get married or choose each other type thing. I feel like I wish that we still would have like he would have escaped somehow, or Sophia would have like gotten him escaped. So that we could have had more of him. Like I wish it could have been him, Sophia and Constance like all together or something. We could have had him as like the sidekick friend because I liked his character. Yeah.
So much potential. I was so upset. Granted, I still had a really good time reading it because like I could fly through like 100 pages so quickly, and it was so refreshing because like I literally read it in 2 days.
Yeah,
like,
I read it. Yeah.
So I don't know. It was just like I liked the beginning and how you're kind of thrown into the story, and she's like, "You're probably wondering how I got here," and I was like, "That was like so much fun to me." And then to have the ending be the people's version of Cinderella's tale, I think was done really well. Like I think the start and end were really good, but just like there's so much middle junk that could have been better. I don't know, man. Yeah. I don't know. I still had fun with it though.
Yeah, me too.
I had fun with it. Yeah, I had fun with it. I was like, I still think the whole plot itself was like original. Like I've never like really read a story like that before, and like even like all the twists that she put in it, like those were all original. I didn't like a lot of the twists I didn't really see coming. Like I knew like Amina, like we said, like I knew she was gonna be like bad, but I didn't know that she's gonna be like his mom and stuff. Even though I didn't like all the twists, I still didn't see them coming. So I thought it was fun, but this discussion is making me want to change my rating though.
I know. I was gonna ask you towards the end. What are you thinking now?
Yeah,
because you gave it a 4, right?
I gave it. Oh, I haven't rated on Goodreads yet, so I technically haven't rated it yet. I was just like gonna go with a 4, but I think I'm gonna lower it. I think I'm gonna lower it to like a 3 on Goodreads, a 3.5.
Yeah,
it's like that reflects it more because I still did enjoy it. I still like the plot. I liked the world, but like this discussion has made me realize. I feel like when you actually take the time to like think about it, you like actually realize all of the issues that you did have with it. I'm not like a very like what's word, like I don't really, you know, some people are very like meticulous raters, like using like the different systems and stuff like that. I'm not like that. Like I just finish a book and just choose a number that I think it was. So I feel like actually like taking the time to like think about it, I'm like, oh shit, like actually it's probably not a 4.
Samantha, what about you? Are your thoughts on the book still pretty staying the same?
I think I might give it a 3. Or a 3.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm sticking to my 3 because I feel like that's a solid place to put it because like again, still highly enjoyable. Would I like recommend it for like our age group? Maybe not. I would give it to like somebody in middle school. I feel like middle school me would have eaten this book up and would have been like, oh my god, 5 out of 5 stars.
Yeah, you know? Yeah, I was just gonna say the same thing. I think it would be more enjoyable to a younger audience. Especially because I don't really read YA that much anymore. This is the first YA book that I read in a really long time, especially YA fantasy I haven't read in a really long time. So that was probably also part of the reason why I didn't like love it. I haven't read it in so long.
All right, so let's do this. Ready? We got a little. Any final thoughts? Anything that you guys would like to say, not only about the book, but like just generally?
Do you guys think you'll pick up her new book that's coming out, or another book by her?
Probably not.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I might give it a try because I do think the synopsis sounds interesting. If like I don't know, like maybe if someone's reading it for a book club, or if someone wants to do a buddy, like maybe I would read it, but I don't know if it would be like my absolute like, oh my god, like most anticipated book of 2021 or anything.
Yeah. I think I would like wait until I heard some reviews and stuff and see how people feel about it. Although this book's got a lot of really, really good reviews. Like a lot of people gave it 5 stars. And I can see why, but I think it's just like, not.
When I put it, I was like my currently reading on Goodreads, I saw the rating for like the average rating, and I was actually surprised because I thought that the average rating would be a lot higher, because I feel like I've been so hyped up and I've only heard good things. But then I saw the average rating, which is like, I think it's like a 3.7, which isn't bad, but considering how hyped up, considering how hyped up I thought it was, I was like shocked to see it that low.
Like I pre-ordered this and I just read it, so like I've been seeing like mixed reviews, and like once I actually got the book and I saw like how big the text was, I was kind of confused. I was like, oh, this is like YA.
Okay, I was wondering about that because I read it on my phone, like on my library app. And on my library app, like on my app, it was only like 200 pages. But then I saw that on Goodreads it said 400 pages, and I was like, something is not adding up here. So is the text like really big? That's why.
Yeah. Here. You see that?
Oh yeah, that's like,
so like
that's
that
like
comparison to like, okay, here's The Burning God, right?
Okay, yeah.
Obviously, very different.
Yeah, very different.
Completely different. This poor book, just like aggressively opened. A book I haven't even started yet. Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty like content with it. I don't know if I'll pick up her other book that's coming out this year, but like would I have bought this had I not pre-ordered it? Probably not. I think I would have gotten it from my library. But this was around the time when they were doing that campaign for what was it? It was the buying week. It was a week where it was promoting Black authors.
Yeah, I think it was like, was it called Blackout Publishing Week?
I think so. I think that's what it was.
I think so.
But yeah, so I bought this and a few other books in terms of like that campaign and making sure that I was doing like what I could to support it. And this was something that I was like genuinely so excited about. Because like I love Cinderella, but like I don't know.
I feel like it's also more disappointing like when you had those expectations. Like I knew it was hyped up, but it wasn't like a book that I was like super like, I need to read this. So I feel like it was probably less disappointing for me than it was for you, because I wasn't as, excited for it. I do still think it was enjoyable though. Like I think that if you're looking for something, like I know sometimes I am in the mood for something like really lighthearted, like not deep at all. Like I think you could enjoy it if you're in the mood for like a very lighthearted YA, or it's actually not. Okay, it's not even that lighthearted. It does deal with very deep topics.
But I feel like it's fun in that lighthearted way where you're like bouncing from place to place, and so it's like easy to read. So I totally agree in that aspect.
Yeah, I feel like if you're looking for something like that, it could, like, you could enjoy it. I still think it was fun. Like it like same as you. Like I read it in a day. I started reading it yesterday, so it's really quick to go through. I wouldn't say it's like a new favorite or anything like that.
Yeah,
definitely. All right. Well, I'll close this off really quickly. Thank you again for saying yes to being on the live and for joining me. I had a lot of fun. And I think it was like exactly what I could have asked for, So I'm really thankful for the both of you. And to anybody who watches this, I guess like retroactively, I hope you enjoyed as well. Make sure to check out Samantha and Emma on their channels. Everything is going to be linked down below. They are both wonderful people who make wonderful videos, and I love them very much. So thank you again.
Thank you, Mel. I had so much fun. Thanks for inviting me to be part of this.
Of course. Always. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.